Yeah. All right, so we are live. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Usually, we do this between the hours of 6 and 8, where we welcome you, Northwest All State Council. This is just West Side people talking West Side things, and Happy New Year, first and foremost, for all those that missed our last episode. We talked with one of the community pillars, one of the individuals from the Peacemakers Coalition, Mr. Allen Evers, Tiny, if you didn't know. And we learned a great deal about his life, but we really only got up to the 70s because he was born in the 40s. So he had a very interesting life story that everybody gravitated towards, and they really wanted him to come back for this episode. But he is busy tonight with another engagement, so we're going to probably have him back next week so that he could actually answer some questions about some of his past life circumstances, and then continue to move forward with the part where we left off at, which again was like the 70s. And I think where he's actually going to pick up is where he went to Dartmouth as one of the country's most prestigious schools as an African American. That was quite a privilege and a blessing to be able to go to there. And so he's going to talk to us about how come they thought that he was a vice lord, even though he wasn't. And that was one of the reasons why he actually went to Dartmouth, because they thought he was a vice lord. So that's going to be a very interesting. So y'all should really tune in next week and get some of those questions asked and answered, because he has a very interesting life. So that being said, there's various ways in which you can interact with the show. We got the Facebook, we have the Zoom, we have the YouTube. So whatever you feel most comfortable with, please be a part of the show in any way that you feel that you would like to. And especially if you're on your Facebook or the YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, especially comment, because that's the way that we can see it in real time. We can actually put it up on the screen in real time, ask the questions, and you can be a part of the show in real time. And if you want to be a guest, hey, just reach out and let us know, because we have a lot of opportunity and space for everybody that if they want to come inside the studio or if they just want to be live on the show. So that being said, because we don't have Alan today, one of the things that we really want to focus on is this is top of 2022. And we left off in 2021 asking individuals what are some of the things that they wanted to accomplish in the community so that we can start to get some ideas brewing around what do we want our 2022 to look like. So let's start there. So I'm gonna shoot right over to the Zoom, bring y'all right to the conversation. How are y'all feeling at the start of 2022? Pandemic aside, please, we understand, we know, we get it. It's here. Let's just talk about 2022 and some of the most positive things that we are hoping to attain, for ourselves and our community. So anybody want to kick us off, just go ahead and do so. Let's do it like that. You know what, Steve? I don't think you got that the the speaker. The speaker's not hooked up, right?
The speaker. That's right. Oh, totally forgot the speaker.
Yeah, sorry about that. Give us 1 second, Zoom. We just got to connect our wireless speaker so we can hear you all better. You can probably hear us better as well.
Hello, can you hear us? Hello. Barry, say something. You're not there? Okay. Hey there, we got you. There we go.
All right.
Hi, Jerry.
Hey, Kate, how are you?
I'm doing great, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, good.
So,
I think my answer to that question is that I want to, 2022, I want to be more broadly engaged across my community, and being here tonight is one of the ways that I'm doing that.
Oh, so, nice.
Good for me.
Absolutely. Yeah, taking initiative, starting off early. I would assume that you're from Oak Park then?
Yes, I live in Oak Park.
Oh, okay, nice. So how long have you lived in Oak Park?
I've been in Oak Park for 12 years.
Oh, still. No. So, sorry. So still fairly new.
And ran for village president.
Yes, they did.
Oh, in this last session?
Yes.
Oh, Okay, so listen, we don't really talk a whole lot of politics on here until the congressman comes. But since we got you, and we talking politics,
Yeah.
uh, you know what? We're gonna say that for a second. We're gonna tap that down. So one of the things that I always find interesting about Oak Park, we always use it as very loosely as a joke, but we talk about this idea that there's a Teflon line between Austin and Oak Park. And I'm always looking forward to hearing from Oak Park residents as to their thoughts about why do you think, and forgive me if you feel like this is a stupid question because I got to ask it.
Oh, no.
But why do you think that crime doesn't cross the borders of Austin into Oak Park as
the levels that we see.
Yeah, at the levels that we see violence here, literally across the street from you all. What do you think is some of the reasons why it doesn't cross over into Oak Park?
I appreciate the question, and I have given this a lot of thought for a number of years. I am a mom. I have 4 kids ranging in age from 10 to 17, and children see things and say them. Mm-hmm. And so early on, when we moved here, my kids asked me, "Why does it look so different when we're driving into Chicago, or if we're driving home? Why is this delineation so stark? The difference between on this side of the street and that side of the street, even the park on Austin Avenue, you can tell a big difference between the condition of the and the care that's taken of by the city of the park on the Austin Avenue versus on the Oak Park side. I believe that it is a long-term systemic institutional intention to keep the separation. Oak Park, and this probably has something to do with why I'm not village president, because I say these things, but Oak Park likes to take credit for stopping white flight, for prioritizing integration by having the Oak Park Regional Housing Center and tracking race data for residency, to keep track of that. And at the same time, we like to take the credit, but we're not actually doing that work because we allow, for example, Pete's Grocery Store to come in and build a second grocery store in Oak Park instead of insisting that Pete's build a couple blocks that way in Austin, instead of having everybody in Austin having to spend their money in Oak Park. I think we're not willing to use our elective power as the seat of the Senate President of the state of Illinois as the area of great resource and wealth and power. There's a lot of people living in Oak Park that are heads of organizations all over the place, nonprofits that are up in Austin. That we're settling for allowing Austin to continue as it is without accountability on our side. That's what I'm
sure the pushback you get, though, is that is not our problem over there. That is Chicago. We are Oak Park. What do you, and I'm just, that's obviously me just putting words where they probably don't even belong, but what is the sentiment when you say these things? Obviously, like you say, you're not village president, so you got some pushback. So what is that pushback? What does that sound like? What are they saying?
Well, I mean, without knowing who's watching or who the audience is, I'm going to say the same thing no matter what.
Yeah.
And you're asking, so I'm saying, it's not an easy conversation to have.
Facts.
Folks would say to me privately, if I brought up the issue about the Pete's grocery store. Pete is, right here on Lake Street at Austin Avenue, a couple blocks from my house, and now they're going to build one over on Madison and near Oak Ave.
They got to replace the jewels right there?
Oh, no, they're not replacing the jewel. They're building on the parking lot that used to have the Christmas trees.
Jesus, wow. So and it just makes me think because I worked at the Dominic's on Lake Street prior to it being shut down. So I'm very familiar with that area. Love Oak Park. In fact, my first apartment was Oak Park. I'm just sitting here thinking like, y'all finna get another decent grocery store where on the west side we don't even have one decent one. Not to say we don't have. I mean, because obviously we got like North Avenue and Cicero. We got Food for Less, right? But the quality ain't the same though. The quality, even with the baby jewels on Madison, even the baby jewels is better. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man.
But the difficult conversation is, if I were village president, I would have to be saying to people, we must use our collective power to insist that we know that Peace has the data that tells them the huge percentage of their revenue that comes from Austin
that come from outside.
They collect that data. For us to insist. Now, the powers that be would say, you're being naive and stupid because that is, we're mainly residential. Oak Park is. We don't have a lot of commercial enterprise compared to Evanston or whatever, compared to Chicago. We need all of that revenue that we can get. But what is our social responsibility to make sure we're not just taking care of our own, that we're actually taking responsibility for the wider community? We might be Chicago Park, but we're both still in Cook County. So why aren't we looking at it in a more holistic way and looking for ways to capitalize on the federal funding coming to help businesses that's already coming into the community, that's helping businesses and property owners, instead of letting things like, for example, Oak Park was able to create its own modifications to the Cook County landlord-tenant ordinance that was written by our commissioner, Brandon Johnson. Oak Park says, well, we improved it. We made the rules better for renters, but in reality, by not listening to the authors of the bill and the community members that spoke up about not making modifications so that we would be part of that ordinance countywide, we've now exacerbated that, made it more difficult for renters to advocate for themselves and to get help on legal help on the county level. So that's what we do. That is, and we keep speaking about it that you're asking about, and I'm glad that I was here to say those pieces.
Oh yeah, no, I appreciate it. I am going to again assume that Barry invited you.
Actually, Dan Gilhoff invited me.
Oh, okay.
But I've been in circles with Barry for a long time.
Okay, bet. Okay, yeah. We obviously Dan is a friend to the whole situation here. We know Dan very well. In fact, I got a call with him tomorrow, so we could talk about some ideas that I have. No, so I'm happy because one of the things that I always pressure Barry to do is to try to bring more Oak Park residents to our conversation so that I can ask questions just like this, because I want to know, like some people may consider it, like I'll give you an example. Sometimes I'll pose this to my brothers and I'll be like, oh man, I wonder what's the difference between over here in Oak Park, like why we can't have good things, And they're like, man, that's a stupid question. Like, you know the answer, And so I feel like I got to ask the people that's living in it. You know what I mean? Because none of us are from Oak Park. We don't live in Oak Park. We've, again, I've lived there, but I don't live there. That isn't a part of my life. I know my life is Austin. I know what goes on over here. So I'm happy that you joined so that you could answer some questions. Because I'll be looking forward to these type of conversations for sure.
And,
I'm here for it.
and hopefully the congressman will be here in a little, so we can open it up a little more.
Yeah.
Because, we really want to look at addressing many other issues. And
hey, what's up, Congressman? There you go, right on time. So Barry, I see you on the line. What's up with your 2022, man? What you got going on?
Well, let's see.
Okay.
Well, following up on what.
All right, Congressman. I'll get back with you.
All right.
Yeah, Congressman Davis couldn't stay. He just stopped in for a minute.
Gave us some end of the year reports.
Talk about his end of the year report.
Y'all want to check that out, though. Sorry, Barry. Go ahead, though.
Yeah, so following up on what Kate was just saying, Kate, I want to invite you to some ongoing conversations that we have between Oak Parkers and Westside in the Time Exchange Coalition meetings. So you're on our email list, I believe. Do you get our emails? Please join us on Zoom, and we can continue to continue the conversation because we've got a couple of important tools for people on the West Side and people in the Oak Park area to work with one another. One is doing use time as the transaction, and it can be followed with dollars, but the first step is building relationships, and then the second part of it is the story of Peacebrook, which is the story of a new West Side. Do you know of the story? Great.
Oh, you got it.
So my hope, my intention for 2022 is to have the story of Peacebrook become more inspiring to more people, so that it can become a movement of people working together, helping each other.
So we focusing on Peacebrook 2022. That's it.
Pardon me?
I said so. The focus is on Peacebrook for 2022.
Yeah, Peacebrook, building relationships and building, doing things that inspire people to join and become part of the movement of the kind of things that we want in our heart.
Mm. All right, I hear that.
A simpler way of living, a simpler, better way of living.
All right, I hear that. Miss J. You're going to have to put it on mute. Miss Jacobs.
Yes.
Hey, what's going
Can you
on?
hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. So we was just basically asking everybody what their 2022 resolutions are. So what you got? What you got planned for 2022, Miss J? What's up?
Well, for 2022, I would like to start staffing for jobs, staffing positions.
Yep, we definitely gonna get that cracking. Yep.
For our community, because I don't think we have a staffing job employment for the West Side.
I agree.
So, and I have talked with some people, and they are in agreement with me. And I think by us working together in the community, that we could make this happen.
Yep.
We just need some help from the big people.
Yep. Yeah.
So I just think I think with the community's help, and we are working together, and the big people come along and give us a jump start.
And when you say the big people, who are they, Miss J?
Well, like our congressmen, our aldermen, and our senators and representatives and people like that, because we don't have a staffing agency on the west side.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
So I think we should go for that in our community. We need that.
Right. Especially when you're looking at all these big buildings coming into the area.
I can't see that person's name.
Oh,
The other person.
hold on. Yeah, such as Amazon, and then they're bringing in the what is it? The fire and police.
The fire police training academy.
So yeah, definitely.
Cook County has in their equity task force and has a significant amount of money dedicated at this point to supporting local grassroots organizations and supporting job training and placement.
How can we tap into that? Are you? Do you know where we can go so that we can look into that?
I sure do. You can actually find. I volunteer with the Budget Black Lives, and we infiltrated our way onto the Cook County Equity Task Force and participated in the implementation of the ARPA funding. Cook County is getting $1.2 billion of ARPA funding over the next few years. And so Cook County Commissioner Brandon Johnson is deeply involved now. And you can look at the Equity Task Force. I'll find a website link to drop in the chat.
Okay, thank you so much. I obviously we do work with Commissioner Brandon Johnson. In fact, I consider him one of the few people that's involved in politics that will be a listening ear, so to speak. I've actually been able to go to him a few times and just have good conversation about trying to run. Cause I'm a former Steve as well. We're both former candidates for alderman over here in the Austin community. He ran for the 29th ward. I ran for the 37th. And Commissioner Johnson, out of all the people that I tried to have a conversation with to say, okay, well, how do you run and blah, blah, blah. He was probably like one of the only ones that actually had sat down with me a few times and had good conversation. And we meet out from time to time because with Dan, we've done a couple of those actions with Black Workers Matters. So we've been out there together, him, I, Steve, the congressman, Dan and the rest of the group with Black Workers Matters, trying to, help workers, so to speak. So yeah, I'm like Commissioner Brandon Johnson, actually. I definitely, yes. So definitely drop that in that information because so like Miss J was speaking about the staffing agency. So for me, I've dedicated my 2022 to actually getting that off the ground. I am putting a lot of my energy, time, and patience behind trying to start this staffing agency because Miss Jacobs, you don't know her, right? Maybe not. But Miss J, about 4 or 5 years ago or so, and I could be wrong with the number, so correct me, Miss J, whenever you'd like. But her son was a returning citizen, and he couldn't find work at all. So she decided to go out and find him work. And when she did that, she was like, man, I want to do this for other people that's finding it difficult to find work. And so she hooked up with the alderman, one of the big people she mentioned, and was able to get a van. And she started a transportation service to take individuals to jobs, and she's now has the inroads with companies like Reynolds Wrap in Arlington Heights, Hostess, Bimbo, and she's still trying to gain access to more businesses so that we can get people to work. Hence the name of the organization that she started, which is GTW, Get to Work. And so for me, I'm looking to really put my energy, time, and invest my effort into helping that to expand and grow. And so, yeah, in 2021, I'm looking to help Miss J really start a staffing agency. But our staffing agency is going to be much different than the typical staffing agency because one, I want to actually partner with Dan and add that element of Black Workers Matters so that we can teach people what it means to protect their rights on the job. But then, so my background is such that I'm a business psychologist, PhD level, one more year left for my PhD. And I want to actually utilize my skills to help develop people, basic skills, life skills, and prepare them with more job readiness so that this doesn't just become a staffing agency that takes advantage of people. This is one that actually develops people from all levels. And obviously, because we already have the integrated piece of with taking people to work via transportation, that's going to be available as well. So we're looking to start something totally different than what's standing now with that social justice component to it, with that community development component. And for me, that brings me great joy. So I'm looking forward to working with Miss J with that. And Kate, I'm looking forward to working with you with that so that you can help us figure out where to get this money from, because we're going to need that for sure.
That's right.
And so I'm super excited to really.
There's plenty of money. And I'm Miss Jacobs. I've been a fan from afar. I work with Dan Gilloff and I work with Lisa. And I'm super happy to be in this circle with you. And Steve, I'm super excited to hear about what you're describing because a huge part of the purpose for the budget for Black Lives, which came out of the Justice for Black Lives resolution, it is supporting returning citizens, primarily in those 24 zip codes that the county identified, which are all West Side, South Side.
Nice.
Which are all in the 7th Congressional District, by the way.
All right.
And
all right. Oh, yeah, that sounds good to us, right, Miss J? That sounds good to us. Oh, yeah, that sounds good to us.
It really seems like we got a jump start.
Oh, yeah. Hey, look, I'm telling you, I'm putting all my energy behind it, so I'm going to make sure I follow up on every lead that we get. So, Kate, I can't see the Zoom from over there, but if you put your information, I'll make sure that I get it so that I can make sure that I'm in contact with you, too.
Put it in there. We can get it from here.
Okay. You know what? Lisa, right? The other, I can't see from all the way back this way, but I think that's Lisa.
Yeah.
So, hello, Lisa.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah, so we just left you hanging out in the wind. So let's bring you on in this conversation as well. So you're 2022. What are you resolving to do?
Well, I just want to say a quick hi to Miss Jacobs. I don't know if she remembers me when I was working at Black Workers Matter for, I think I was there about a year.
Lisa, yes. Lisa, how are you?
I'm good. Still organizing and doing all the things, multiple things all at once. I've been getting reports from Dan that you're doing big things, so I'm super excited to hear and support this the staffing agency. That's very exciting. So I'm looking forward to.
Great.
Yeah, it's awesome. So I think my focus the next year is to get young, progressive people elected into office. So we have more people we can work with, like Brandon Johnson, who are super responsive and supportive and show up. So I'm hoping to do that because all these things require kind of the inside-outside strategy. And so I think we got to get some more people on the inside.
Yeah.
Count me in. Look, count me in. My hand raised. Former candidate looking to do it again, too. So count me in. I'm one of them young people that have plenty of ideas and solutions to some of the problems that we have that keeps getting overlooked. Straight up. So count me in.
That's exciting.
Yes, it's very exciting.
I've had my career has kind of meandered. I'm a teacher. I'm also an organizer. I've been working on campaigns. So But I only want to work on campaigns with people that I'm passionate about. So,
Lisa?
yeah.
Manager, by the way, and a very good one. I highly recommend her if you need a campaign man.
Oh, campaign man. Oh, okay, man. All right, put your information in there too. Let's make sure we connect with everybody. We own that.
So Lisa,
for sure.
Lisa, this is Steve. This is the same Lisa that I remember from West Side.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I remember you for sure.
Sorry, I'm in the car. I probably don't look like that, like I do on the beach usually.
So I'm wondering then.
I'm probably different usually, but my daughter's going back to college, so I had to drop her off at the airport.
I'm wondering have I met Lisa then? I mean, I had to then.
Maybe it's a meeting. It was like, it was a couple years ago. So we were doing organizing around Bimbo and
Yeah, I definitely.
probably.
I think I took off essentially the last year because of school and things like that. So I haven't really. The last action that I took with Dan and the rest of the group was at Bimbo. I can't remember. All I remember is they kind of shut the street down until we had the congressman come out. We did an action. In fact, I remember I had my Juneteenth flag with me, so it had to be sometime around June of this past year, May or 2020.
2020.
Yeah, it had to be because I remember having my Juneteenth flag. But anyway, so I took some time off from really being involved in a lot of ways, just because of school, and I have a child, so I had to make sure I do what I had to do.
Hey, I'm just gonna say this: 2022 is the action year.
Oh, no question.
We gotta do one.
No question.
We have to do. There's just too
no
much.
Question.
There's too much out there that needs to happen. And I'm thinking about a meeting I had last week with the aldermen and law enforcement and residents, and it just blew me away that it wasn't organized properly. The meeting was called by the alderman's office, but it just wasn't organized because no one came to the table with all the information. And Barry, you were there, Barry. What do you think of that meeting? Barry?
Hi. I was trying to get my mute off. It was a group, like you said, and it was a productive meeting. And in fact, Mark wrote a follow-up email this morning, and I'm going to reply. So I think some good things came out of it. One was the data was incredible that was mentioned about the number of times the police were called in regard to this property, 400 times.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, whoa, that is.
I was telling Steve, so I was saying this, right? Right now, we're in a situation of perpetual passing the buck. So the police are like it's the state's attorney. The state's attorney says the community not turning on people. The community saying it's the police not doing their job. The police then looking like, man, where's the alderman's office and the mayor and all of them? And we got this perpetual circle. So I said, why, if this situation been brewing this long, how come the alderman, after every incident, don't go and sit on these people's house? When I say that, I just mean something like every time something happens, the alderman goes and creates a news feed around it. Bring the news out. And every time the people come out, they got news in front of them. Like, what's going on? Oh man, y'all wanted attention, so we here to give you attention. You know what I mean? Like my thing is, I don't understand why we can't use the devices that we have in various ways to make something happen for the community. Because again, right now, it's so easy for people to just pass the buck. It's somebody else's fault. Like, why can't we just do something? Like, all I'm asking is, again, why, if this situation is a problem, why can't somebody that's in a political position continually show up there time and time again, bring it unwanted attention? You know, of course, they want attention. They got to because they're gonna keep shooting stuff up. So it's like, well, let's just give them the attention they're looking for. And I get that these people have jobs, but I'm just saying, like, let's be honest here. Like, some of these elected positions is almost like part-time jobs now. Some of these people have real full-time jobs, and they treat this like the part-time situation. So I don't know, man. Call me crazy, but I just feel like it's a lot more that could be done.
Let me just say this. When Barry heard that number, he said, this can't possibly be. And I'm like, Barry, I'm there to attest to this. I have a property 3-4 doors down from where the issues have been occurring for 30 years. I've been there 31 years. I've complained 40, 50 times. I've been to the alderman's office. I've talked to the people in the community. And it's just escalating because now there are shootings happening. You know, and we think there's possibly drug sales and people congregating in the alley. You know, again, DeAndre talks about the Teflon line or the invisible line between Austin Boulevard and Oak Park versus Austin side, and it's true. I see it. I've seen it for years. But how come we can't just get to the bottom of these issues? I mean, if this has been going on for 30 years plus, if we just addressed it a little bit at a time, we wouldn't be talking about this today. You know, 30
We know
Kate,
by design.
Kate, I want to mention something to you to hear. This property we're talking about is on Austin Boulevard, right across the street from Oak Park. 400 calls to the police.
Where on Austin?
in the 1400 block, right? 2 blocks before North Avenue.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. So we know that if it's been going on this long, if we're talking about things that we've been talking about for 20 years, there is no other answer than it is by design.
For
Well,
sure.
I think one of the problems is they're using building code violations. And to me, that doesn't make sense to go after a property that has such dangerous things going on and cite them for, some electrical problem or, the downspouts not.
Or the back porch.
Yeah, the back porch,
Sure.
or,
So you always have to follow the money. You guys know this. If you ran for alderman, you know this. You follow the money. And the people who have a financial interest,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's why we have stores on all the corners. That's why, even the
That's a
current
fact.
alderman was willing to allow a change in ordinance to add an additional liquor store when we know
Right.
there's enough.
Right.
You
Right.
have to follow the money.
Right.
And the co-governing is not what they want. That's not what the system wants.
Right. Yeah, call it like it is, Kate. Yeah, Kate. I like you, Kate. Call it like it is. Call it like it is, man. It's just it's really
And
sad.
That's how we know that we are right and that we have power, that we're building collective power. The reason they try to keep us apart is because together we're incredibly powerful, as we will be in 2022.
All power to the
Right.
people, because the power is where the people reside. Mm-hmm. So we got a couple comments coming in from our Facebook page, and in response to to what I was talking about in terms of having media or news show up, as an elected official, if that was something that could be used as a strategy. Mr. John Sheehan was saying people don't have to wait for the media to show up. It doesn't take much to shoot your own press statement and send your own footage to the news outlets. They use found footage and viral videos anyway. And he says news outlets are like all workplaces. They are all laying off talent. If you send them the video content you want, then they will air it. So therein lies a potential solution, right? Where we're talking about a house that has been. So if we typed up a press statement, sent them the data that shows 400 times, and then we start to call on the individuals that are possibly okay. So what's up, Cook County State's Office? What's up, Alderman? What's up, Mayor? Whomever else needs to be called out. 400 times the police have been called to this particular location and nothing is happening. So what are we gonna do? And we can do that as a community because again, as John is putting it, we send in the information that they have to or will probably air anyway.
You know what it is? It's Treetop.
Yeah. What's up, Treetop? So John is someone that's also from Oak Park, and his YouTube is Treetop Flyer because he likes to take drone footage, and Steve was just telling me today about some of the dope drone footage that he sent him, and actually we're trying to work with him. So one of the 2022 things that we're trying to do here at Northwest Austin Council is get people involved in aviation via drones. And so we actually want to put together a training program with John's help. He's a certified pilot of drones, and we want to actually utilize him to help us create a training program and bring more people from this side of the field over into drone and aviation flight so that they can get their license and we could figure out how to use this drone technology to our advantage. So thank you, John, for tuning in with us. Got a lot of Oak Parkers on tonight. Like I love when we get Oak Parkers involved. I'm not gonna lie, guys. It makes me happy.
So again, when we talk about these major issues like this, and like you said, follow the money. Because this particular family, maybe a few months ago, they ended up getting their back porch repaired. Now I know a back porch for a 2-unit runs anywhere from $20,000-$30,000. You maybe at the least 18. So I'm like, how are they able to get this back porch repaired? Maybe it was a city program. So I called the alderman's office and they said, there's no way. They have too many violations. We could not give them a city-free program. And I'm like, okay, so how could this be? Someone said, well, maybe it's the drug dealers making sure that they get their property repaired so that they won't be removed. And I'm like, this could be the case. Because it's just out of nowhere, it's repaired, you know. And I know this family's been there 44 years, and it's been a lot of just ongoing craziness for at least 40 years.
You know,
comments?
We know that
Sure, go
there's
ahead.
anytime there's a law or a rule that was written by us. And we've seen plenty of times where laws, rules, and ordinances are modified to accommodate the people that have the power to ask for it. And then when we bring accountability and transparency to the process, then we can start using that system to our advantage for the benefit of working people.
Yeah.
They
don't like me, Drake.
No, I see. I'm saying, because listening to you and then thinking about Lisa, how she was saying we need more people on the inside. You know, that's something that I've also stressed, especially politically. We have to get the right people. You know, this legislation governs our life. You know, so what you're speaking about is really getting inside and changing the thought process of the individuals that are governing us in that law, that legislation that they write that's governing us. And that in itself is going to take a lot of effort. But I mean, times are changing. The winds of change are already here with young people. And, you know, again, having to speaking for myself, I'm ready. We're ready. You know what I mean? It's a lot of us that are ready to really enact some change, man. Because one of the things that I can't stand and that I think about daily is the fact that individuals that are making laws right now are going to impact my daughter who's 22 months. You hear me? And I'm like, no, I can't see a life for my child that will still have laws enacted by individuals that will be long gone by the time she's my age. Like, come on, B. I can't. That's not a world that I want to live in. That's the world I'm living in right now. So no. You know what?
Elections are so important. Those ordinances are all local, municipal, county. Some of them are state, but it is crucially important. And the way that they keep us not thinking that it really matters that close up is how they maintain things status quo.
Yeah, absolutely. We got to buck the trend. We got to buck the system. It's that status quo no longer works. It really doesn't. You know, I wanted to bring attention because I saw Raheem slide in a little later. You know what I mean? So I wanted to bring you into the mix, Raheem. First and foremost, we was asking individuals that came in, you know, what was their 2022 resolution, you know, so I just wanted to hear from you and see what you got planned, man. For y'all don't know Raheem, he's one of the founders of Welcome to Fatherhood. He has an amazing program that brings men together, that tries to help us in different, and I say us because I've attended many meetings. We'll continue to attend meetings throughout 2022, and I get a lot of help from other brothers and women now that are talking about real life issues, and man, it get deep in there. And I have been a part of no groups that gets as deep as Raheem's group. So, you know what I mean? I'm looking forward to continuing working with them. But Raheem, I just wanted you to come in, man, and talk about 2022. What's up, brother? Wait, I don't know. Oh, okay, yeah, he's there.
What's going on, fellas?
Man, what's up, brother? How you feeling?
Yeah.
Happy New Year to you.
Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate the words, man. I appreciate that.
Nah, they all true though. Everybody being up with a box of tissues, man. and one man be like, oh man, gotta go and evaluate myself. Straight up though. Straight up.
I appreciate that. But like for 2022, man, it's just a continuation, man. Continuing to deal. So that's what I'm on, man.
You know what? I want to talk a little bit about like the house in Austin pairing that you guys, because I know that's still fairly new, and I know when I met you all, you were doing just the Zooms with the Welcome to Fatherhood, but now you do it live at a house in Austin as well. Can you talk a little bit about that? How did that pairing come about, and what is that like?
Oh yeah. Well, we just started that I think like in September or October. And how that partnership came about, I was in Chicago parenting group training. So it was like for people who wanted to teach their curriculum. And the lady over at a house in Austin, she was a part of that training. Her name is Becky Martin. So this was maybe like in 2019. So a couple of months ago, she had reached out like through email and asked if we were still doing Welcome to Fatherhood. I was like, yeah. And she was saying that they wanted to have parenting for men at a house in Austin. So that's how we connected. That's how the partnership started.
Oh, that's beautiful. So what's the plans for continued growth for Welcome to Fatherhood?
Oh man, we got a lot of stuff in the works. On the 29th, we're having the second annual men's conference. It's going to be virtual again. Yeah, Steve, I was going to talk to you about that. So we're just going to do it the virtual route because everything that's going on.
Yeah, for sure.
So we got that. We have our master classes that we do. And we just like building connections, man, and trying to, build a community. So that's the plan.
True.
There's a lot of things that goes into that, but that's at the root. That's the plan.
True. All right, now what about personally? I ain't gonna ask you no more questions, but personally, 2022, what is your resolution?
Oh man, I don't know, man. I don't really make resolutions, man.
I hear that.
But I guess like becoming more disciplined,
Mm.
and I think that's probably the biggest thing right now. Just becoming more disciplined, watching what I'm eating.
Okay.
Watching what I'm eating, exercising more. That's like everybody's resolution, man.
Yeah, facts. Facts.
Yeah, just stuff like that. Just being more disciplined about life and things that I have to do. Becoming more aware, developing understanding. Man.
Yeah.
So
that's understandable. That's definitely understandable. All right, bet, man. Thanks for tuning in with us today. Appreciate you.
Yeah, it's up to Kate.
No problem, man. I appreciate y'all.
Bye, guys.
You got all right. Nice meeting you, Kate.
All right, nice. Thanks for coming on, Kate.
All right, stay in touch.
All right, for sure. We'll do.
All right, take care.
So, everybody talks about resolutions. I think the day of resolutions.
Well, what y'all got on deck for 2022?
Let me see the. I want to get her information.
We got. You could check the chat from there.
Yeah.
We got man. We trying to focus this year. We really trying to focus on the 40 blocks and the movement, because we put all this effort into it, and there's still a pile of people out there that we haven't even addressed or reached out to.
Through. I'll make it
So,
no, you good. You good.
That we need to reach out to. There's just there's so much of a gap between the leaders on the blocks and on some of the blocks, and the residents, that we gotta pull that in tighter. The leaders just can't be the only person that has to say so for the block when they're not even in communication with the rest of the block. So we got to find out what's going on with that. How do we bring them into to the fold and working with everybody? Because DeAndre and I spent approximately 3 months walking those 40 blocks. What do we go out, twice a week or once a week?
Twice.
Twice a week.
Yeah.
And the actual results are not what we expect. So we're gonna put some emphasis on that. And then I'm starting to notice that people are becoming more siloed. And I don't know if you remember, Raheem, when we talked to David, what's his name, Sebis, from the library, Oak Park Library, when he said he said when you offer people something and you don't produce, what happens? You lose trust.
You're gonna lose, yeah.
Yeah. And I when he was talking about that, I said, man, he's dead on what I'm thinking, because you can't just say things to people and then leave them in the dust and don't even respond back or even try, or give them a reason why you're not successful at trying to help them. You just can't do that. And me personally, I've been out here too long, 30 years plus, put my name on the line as not being trusted when I can do more to make sure that things happen.
Yeah. Well,
it's just people are straying away. We got our diehards, we got our next level people, but where are they? Where are they? How do we get them energized? How do we get them? Like I said, 22 is the year to do. We got to do something. We got to get it done. We can't sit back and be like complacent with, this is good enough. No, this is not good enough.
Yeah, we got to do something and something.
I'm not gonna say it's
like Uncle Shay say.
It's worse than it was, but things can be a lot better. And considering Northwest Austin Council is coming up on their 50th year, 50th year anniversary, that means a lot.
Oh yeah, you know what? I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
that's something that we really gotta focus on.
We're trying to have a big celebration for the 50th year. So,
when is the next time you guys get together?
We're having a meeting this month, so
okay.
I need to reach out to Dorothy because Dorothy's kind of she's secretary for that part of it.
Yeah.
So definitely have a meeting this month because time's moving.
What's the anticipated date for that? What was it? September or was it October?
I would say September.
September.
Yeah. But I mean,
50 years.
yeah.
September. When was the organization launched? What month?
That's a good question because if you look at the documents when they actually had their 501, it's like 70 something, late 70s, but the organization started in 72.
Mm-hmm.
But the 501 looks like 78, 79, 77. So it's hard to say, what the actual month was.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm trying to see who would know. Cora might know. Cora.
Yes.
Were you over in this area when NAC started?
No.
No. What about Mr. Ferber?
Probably.
Yeah. He's 94. He definitely
Man.
So yeah, there's some individuals that wait a minute. We ran into some people we ran into some of the founders. Well,
right.
The wife of one of the founders who still lives in the community. But there's still a lot of people that remember when we started. I just don't know the month.
Yeah, just a random question. I was just wondering because I feel like if you did it the same month that it launched, that's a true 50.
Yeah.
A true what was it? What's the 50 bicentennial? Was that what that's called? 50 years? Is that what they call it?
Bicentennial would be
500 or 50, right?
Bicentennial means two.
Two? Oh, my
200.
bad. My bad.
It's just be 50. It's 50 years.
Oh, just 50. I thought it was a word for that. 50 years.
You got centennial, which is 100. And then you have bicentennial,
Which is 2. Okay.
which is 200.
Huh.
And I don't know. They never talk about anything other than that. So what else going on with you, Miss? Let's see who we got. Ella was supposed to be coming on. I don't know what happened to Ella.
Oh, yeah.
Did you send one out to?
Yep, I sent her the.
I just talked to Mr. Ferber. He said he'll be on next week, which is he's almost what they call him, centennial.
Centurion.
Centurion.
100 years, right?
Yeah.
Centurion.
That's another thing we definitely want to do. We want to reach out to people that are 90 years or 80 years, 90 years plus, and we know quite a few of them from the community. What else? Who else? Congressman was talking about let's do a book fair. What is it called?
Yeah. Like a
book fair
like a
with
book fair.
all of the people that have written books in the community, from the west side, from wherever, in the city. Bring them out to meet the authors,
Bring them out.
books, introduce their books.
Swizzies.
What else do we want to do this year? Follow up on some of the other programs, maybe some more of the Light Up the Night program.
Yeah, I feel like that's more or less with our policing stuff. Yeah, we got a few days going with that. Oh man. No, I got a slight headache, but yeah, got a slight headache. But I just for me, like I said, I really want to focus on helping to get this staffing agency thing going. When I look around the landscape and see that there are no minority-owned staffing agencies or even places of real development, right? John Sheehan said it's called a semi-centennial. Thank you so much, sir. I feel like it was a word somewhere for that. Thank you. Also, John said that he appreciate the treetop shout out, but his company is now called, I think that's Hawkwind Drone Works. So that's a pretty cool name, Hawkwind. But yeah, I just really think because we don't have a lack of agencies that are actively helping to uh, provide job placement, man, that this is one of them ideas that we really need to act on seriously. I really think that this has the potential, especially with the differentiating factors that we're going to bring, the development part, not just like true development for these individuals that really need it, because the thing that we want to focus on, especially, so one of the things that I want to focus on for sure is utilizing my education more than I have in the past, and that means helping to develop people, and so being able to build an entity that can help develop people is something that I think would be invaluable for the community. And then you add that economic component of being able to get them some good work, right? One of the things we talked about is how people, they'll, especially black people, see, we go to work and we work and that's it because we always in a mode of survival. All we know how to do is survive in most respects. And we don't think about, okay, what am I trying to do 5 years from now? How much money do I want to earn? And look at it like, okay, this is a nice entry level job, but 5 years from now, I want to be here making this. And what kind of steps does it take for me to make that? What kind of skills do I need to build? And because we don't do that, we find ourselves 10 years down the line with the same job, then questioning, okay, well, what's next? And then looking at the skill set and saying, damn, I can't even do anything but this because this is all, you know what I mean? And I think that we really need to start focusing on getting our people into a better understanding of who they are and what they can be capable of. And so I'm looking forward to that. I'm really looking forward to that.
Are you saying job placement, job readiness,
Yep.
Job security by working with entities like Black Workers Matters that
Right.
that
Facts.
secures what happens on the inside.
Facts.
It's equitable and fair to the worker.
Yeah.
And then
career development,
training,
real career development.
training.
I used to argue with my brothers and them a lot about the fact that most of these companies have no real career development paths for the people that come in. And when I say that, I mean they don't have metrics or any type of, or lack of a better word, path that says, okay, if you learn this requisite amount of skills, this will put you in this category to move up to this job that's right above you. And then that path spreads out to either this place or that place where you want to go. And then that could take you up here. What companies have a tree like that you could readily go in and say, all right, cool, I'm here, but if I want to become a technical engineer making 160,000, how many years, like,
or management or supervisor,
whatever the case may be, so some people might want to stay 10 years because they see an opportunity to make it up the ladder, versus it being it's right now it's invisible, so I would always tell my brothers and them that I thought that jobs need to have that type of career path,
right,
and show that this is what you need to do to make it there. They would always say that's crazy because then how would you get people promoted? Some crazy stuff they used to say. And I always be like, nah. I'd be like, shit, every job needed. Pepsi,
right,
Coke, you name it. Shit, put it on the board. It's like, this is how you make it to be a manager. This is how you make it to be an account rep. This is how you make it to be a service. Whatever.
I've done that when I managed the group, my group in the CNC department, computer numerical control machine department. My guys were all entry level guys. Never worked on a laser, never seen a laser, never knew how to program one or any of those things. So I set a path that said, first you're gonna work as an operator. Or maybe no, first of all, you're gonna work as a loader. You just load the equipment, loading the material. Then you work from there as an operator. Then as an operator, you work as a programmer. Then as a programmer, you work as an operator, programmer, maintenance guy. So there was always levels to achieve, but I knew they weren't levels that could be achieved in 1 year.
Right.
These are things that took 5, 15 years, And a lot of the guys I had, they ended up staying over 15 years because they had a growth pattern, development pattern, and more money came with it.
Right. I think, and I mean, especially now, as the workforce changes, more people, especially younger people, look, we don't stay at jobs that don't value our development. Like, how are you going to give me skills that I could use not only for this job but for the next job, for the next company I may work at, for my life? Like, we need the whole package. I just can't work for you like that no more.
Jobs gonna give you skills to go nowhere else. They don't want you to go anywhere.
Man, they're gonna have to figure it out.
They'll develop you for their own good, but if they're thinking right,
Right. But I mean, it has to be this reciprocal thing that I'm not just working just to continue to show up here. I'm working also so that I can move up or I can have skills that because
you need something to offer.
You got to have something to offer. You got to have something sweet in the deal because money ain't cutting it no more. Money ain't the only thing.
Well, the reason I think for younger people, money is not really the only thing because younger people are not having kids, and when you don't have anything that you have to that's waiting on your support, you can move in different directions and dimensions. So maybe that's one of the reasons why.
Mm-hmm.
What you say, Cora? What you got to say?
I think you're on point, and I agree with what you said.
I think the only thing is we got to start getting in shape and making these things move.
Yeah.
Because again, last year, it came and went so fast.
Yeah.
Like I said, one of the things that we had discussed is that we asked the viewers to support us by giving us an idea of what things you want to see happening, what things you want to happen, going forward with our group. So, anybody?
Steve.
Yes, ma'am.
This is just on my mind. I have two professional men. One is a plumber. The other one is a general contractor. He builds houses. But I was saying, me and you had talked about what we need in the community. Like these guys could probably teach the young guys about carpenter and contracting and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because these two guys, they're professional. They work, downtown. I was just saying that maybe we could, in the later months, that we could get with these guys and see if they want to teach the young people the trade.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm
saying? I hear you. Maybe that's something we definitely can reach out to them. You say one's an electrician, one's a plumber or a carpenter?
Yeah.
Okay.
One is a contractor. He builds houses. The other one is a plumber. And heating.
Oh, that sounds
good. These two guys, I know them personally. I mean, they professional. They got whatever they call license or whatever. Because like I said, they work downtown. They do big jobs.
Okay. Definitely we can reach out.
All right. I was gonna say, so I know this group, BICO, that they're a group of different contractors and unions, tradesmen that they help one another find jobs and things like that. I could get through that information and tie you and help you to get them tied in with that group too. That could probably be very helpful to them. Yeah, so I'll remind me of that, and I'll make sure that I get to, because I think I saved this. Wait, let me see if I saved her number. If not, then I'd have to find her number and get it over to you. Let me see. What's this lady's?
Who's calling? Is that somebody else in there?
No,
That's us?
that's somebody else on there.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Barry. Barry, you sleep?
Yeah. What'd you say?
I was saying you sleep. What's going on with you, Barry?
He's there.
Did you really think I was asleep?
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
You don't know me. Yeah, okay.
What's going on? What you got going on?
Better sleep with his eyes open.
I'm thinking all the time.
What you got going on, Barry, man?
So what's your question?
No, I'm just asking you what you got going on.
What's what?
What you got going on? You usually at this time you usually clinking the dishes together. Either you eating some peanuts or something. You usually got something going on in the background. No, I'm just saying what you got going on.
Well, I'm thinking about what you guys are saying, and I think there's some fundamentals that need to be addressed.
Yep.
And there's a process for doing that kind of work that I know about. And that's what I think about.
Such as what? I mean, you might as well. We can start considering.
Well, I take a traditional kind of thing. If you're building a house, there's a very specific process for doing it. If you're building a hotel complex or a multi-use complex, whatever it is, there are set processes that you go through.
Mm-hmm.
And that's simpler than what we're dealing with, because what we're dealing with requires an offshoot of that process. What we're dealing with is people. And it's hard to find out what they really need and what they're willing to pay for. And that's the fundamental question. Because people, even if they don't have dollars, they can pay for what they need with their time. But the question is, what do they really want that they're willing to pay for? So that's the kind of thing that I think about, is how to combine these two processes. And it starts, the architectural process starts with a plan. You've seen, that bank on Laramie, is it? The one that Westside Health Authority was after, and the Oak Park Regional Housing Center got it. Which bank was that? The Laramie?
Laramie Bank.
Laramie and Chicago Avenue. Yeah, that bank there, that's what you're talking about?
Yeah. I mean, so what they do is they come up with a dollar figure about the available money, and then later on they have a rendering to show you what the image of the building could be, or what their project is that they're proposing, and then they look for support. So we're doing a similar kind of thing with Peacebrook. But Peacebrook isn't a rendering, because what we're dealing with is how can we convey what people really want, and what are they willing to pay for? Mm-hmm. Because like with that bank project, somebody's got to pay for it. The money's got to come from somewhere, and for anything we do, nothing is free. So somebody's got to pay for it. And if you don't have enough dollars, it's time. It's, time and dollars, it's all a way of paying for what we need. So the question is, what do people really, really want that they're willing to pay for? Are they willing to pay for their safety?
I mean, look, if that's the question that you're asking, I think consumer trend shows exactly what people pay for. And that shows what they want. I mean, to be honest.
No, consumer trends is about consumption. This isn't about consumption. We're talking about building community. So the process is a little different.
Right. Well, and so
we're not talking about building another, housing project.
Right. I think. Well, look. I think what Kate was saying is what, and Lisa is what we need. If we really gonna sit and build community, we got to infiltrate the processes that are hindering the growth of the community. Like she said.
Well, no, I heard what she said.
Right.
Here's my view. To me, a lot of those processes are messed up.
Right.
Messed up. And so many of them are messed up that I don't know that they can be corrected.
Yeah, they can. I personally.
It's that bad in my view.
But I think they can, though, because.
Therefore, what we need to do is start from the grassroots up and build strength within.
I think you got to. I think these situations are so complex that you need a two-pronged approach. You need the grassroots, you do, but you also need that top-down approach. You got to have some real power, though. You have to have real power, and when I'm talking about that real power, I mean, like she said, infiltrating the systems that are at play. So we could do both at one time. Like, for instance, I've always maintained that I want to do politics. That I've said this for years on end. Put me in that position, coach. Put me in the game. I've said it time and time again. I'm a grassroots organizational building individual that's been doing it for a long time. But if you put me in that right position where our group now has power because I have the power, then you get to the place you're trying to go a lot faster than you would if all of us remained in the same position. I truly believe that to be so.
No, I hear that that's what you believe. And you may be right for you. And I think, what you're called to, you should do. And I think that people have different callings.
They do?
And by all means, if that's what your calling is, then go for it. But we need to mobilize more people.
Right. So that's why I need your help to get behind me.
Wait, just 1 minute. Let me finish.
Okay.
Mobilize more people to find out what it is that they really want that they're willing to pay for. And motivate, help support them to go after what they really want.
Man, see, I think the difficulty in that is having to understand that so many individuals from this walk of life have been given so much because, like I always say, we've created a culture of dependency. The people from this walk of life they are so ingrained with the government's help and that they've created generations upon generations of figuring out how to get over, so to speak. Like it runs rampant in my family. So what I'm saying is
that's only part of the situation. People are dependent, but they're also smart in a way that a lot of middle class people just don't have the smarts. They see things, they can see what's coming. You know, a lot of stuff that middle class people just miss.
I mean, I don't know how that's to be.
Smarts.
I don't know. Listen, I can't agree with that, seeing as how they still poor though.
Oh, but poor, I mean, yes, the culture is beating them down. That's part of the terrible things that's going on. But what the culture is doing right now is it's beating everybody down.
No, it's not. No, the culture is not.
Well,
no, it's not.
You and I don't agree about that because, you know, when I do a Google search and you do a Google search, every one of us who does a Google search gets different stuff.
Right.
And the way it's really designed is for us to be at each other's, so that it's amazing that the way it's designed today, everybody could be fighting with everyone. If you're Muslim, they'll show you some reason to be angry at Jews or to hate Jews and to hate Christians and to hate this and to hate that. No matter who you are, it's propagating fear and hate. But what can unite us is love and helping each other, connection, relationship. That's the only way I see out of this mess. Because the powerful keep getting richer and more powerful. And the election in November 22 is, I feel very threatened by that. I think we're coming to another crucial fork in the road.
Well, I mean, the world has been as such since the inception of the world. I do think this time that we're living in, though, is probably the most inclusive time that it's ever been.
Yes, that's true.
It's amazing. But at the same time, the divide between have and have not is actually probably the greatest it's ever been as well. You know, so both can be true at the same time.
Not just haves and have-nots, Republicans, Democrats, homophobes, and gay people. You know, they divide people every which way.
Yeah, but again, that's all. But that's always been true. I think what's now the difference.
Not like today.
Yeah, but the difference between today and what it used to be is social media, and everybody now having the ability. Right. So that's the difference. The difference is that it was hidden. That's the only difference. The only difference is that it used to be hidden.
No. It's not the only difference. The school system used to be a melting pot designed to pull people together.
That is not true. It's never been that way.
Well, it used to be much more so than it is today.
No.
You talking pre-civil rights?
Look at the history.
What?
Look at the history of the school system.
In what city?
Any city. New York City.
But there was no segregation.
What's that?
There was segregation. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but not like Chicago.
So they broke the law.
New York is. I don't know if any place is segregated as New York.
Chicago, or you mean Chicago?
Maybe, I mean Chicago. Maybe South Africa. But in the United States, it's highly unusual to have this intense kind of segregation.
But Barry, what you said was that it was better in the olden days, let's say. And
No, that's not what I said. What I said was that we had institutions that were that helped people come together, like the school system. That's what it was. That was the design of it.
See, the way I gotta disagree is that the same school system that you talk about brought people together is the same one that created the pipeline that put a lot of these brothers in jail right now. That school system was not created.
It's become horrible.
Yeah, but no, it didn't become horrible. It was horrible. It did not become horrible. It was horrible. It created the conditions that are around today. So what I'm saying is nothing about what used to stand is better because it created where we are right now. We are standing on the top of a foundation that had already been built. So where you're saying things are worse or used to be better, I'm saying it couldn't have been because it created where we are now.
Well, can I jump in right now? I want to thank everyone for having me here on the show.
1980s, when Reagan came. That was the beginning of this horrible period we've been in.
What? Reagan?
When Reagan came in.
What?
The hero, the guy who received the, this emperor's kind of funeral.
Oh, man. What? So, look, from what I know,
I don't know where this
West
is
Side
going.
got destroyed in 68, 64?
I'm not talking about this. I'm not talking about Chicago because I don't know Chicago that well. So I don't know.
Oh, so you're just talking about more like along the lines of politics then. And when the Republicans started to really...
What I'm talking about is like the 1910s or so.
Yeah.
The purpose of the public school system was to be a melting pot.
I disagree.
To help Americanize the immigrants so that they could work in the businesses that were growing.
Well, those immigrants couldn't have been the black folks that was already here. Because there wasn't no school system.
That could be.
No school system was made for us. I mean, without the civil rights movement, we wouldn't even be in school right now. So
the civil rights movement primarily impacted the South. I don't know that the civil rights movement changed much in North in education.
You may have a point there.
But if you look in Boston, even in the 70s, they weren't even integrated. The schools weren't integrated.
Yeah, I mean, it's far from. It's never been perfect, and the situation with blacks. Yeah, that's all I'm trying to say.
That's messed up.
The institution,
That's
like
what you want to say.
the Supreme Court, that people trusted, but now the trust level has really gone down across the board. People don't trust each other. They don't trust the Supreme Court, the political system, the education system, and now even the health system has become politicized.
Yeah. Well, that's what happened when you have a two-party system that gives the illusion of choice. And
there's no two-party system. There's the Democrats and and the Republican Party has disappeared. The new Republican Party isn't the Republican Party. It's a radical organization that is if it has its way, God forbid, because segregation and racism is mild compared to what Hitler did.
Yeah. So we want to shift gears a bit before we get real heavy into that. No worries, Barry. We could pick that.
I wasn't asleep.
Oh, no worries, Barry. Thank you. So I wanted to bring
he woke, man.
Because we brought for real woke. So we brought John into the show. We wanted to talk a little bit about the conversion of treetop flyers now to, I think what was it, Hawkwind Drone?
Hawkwind Drone Works.
Let me look.
Right.
Drone Works. Hawkwind Drone Works.
All
and
right.
so I want to talk a little bit about.
You hear me all right?
Oh, you know what? We can't hear you. Hold on, John.
Right.
Let me see. I make sure I.
Okay. Can we hear me all right?
Okay, there we go. Now we can hear you. All right. So I wanted to bring you in, John. Yeah, take it away, John. What's going on? How you feeling? Thanks for calling
Thank
up.
you very much for having me.
Yeah, no problem.
You can see behind me is one of my photos from the drones. And what we've been talking about is converting what was a hobby for me into a profession now as a FAA certified drone pilot. And drones now are a new technology. And what I'm seeing is that they are an entry for students and new people getting into the aviation industry, because drones are a transition from a hobby to a FAA certified pilot operation. Once you master the dynamics of flying and have an entry into what is the national airspace.
I'm trying to.
We had a short demonstration in the park earlier this summer, and I'm looking forward to a tight freeze here in the wintertime to fly a little bit more in clear weather.
So you just did this one. When exactly did you do the picture behind you?
I think this was this would have to have been just last week.
Oh, okay, nice. And so the drones can operate in, what was that, almost 30-degree weather?
Well, yes. Actually, these drones nowadays will operate below zero weather, and
wow.
It's a developing technology. Of course, the drones that are being used now for professional purposes, like the photography and mapping drones that I use, are aviation quality, all-weather type of aircraft, actually, that I have to have certified. It's like having the tail number of your airplane on the side of the drone for identification.
Oh, you
I know the site, John. I know where you're at. You're right in downtown Oak Park there.
Yes.
In the distance, I can see downtown Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a fire picture. That's definitely fire.
Now, the fun thing about this is that it's directly over the park, which is Cook County Forest Preserve property. And so the airspace above that is relatively free, and operating in the park, there's no one underneath the drone. So I can operate up to altitudes of 400 feet to get these sort of videos and in photography.
So 40 stories.
Yes.
Wow.
And if you get close, well, if you're operating close to a tower above 400 feet, that tower is already marked on the aviation charts, the maps that pilots use. So it's all right to operate above that building, say some of the towers downtown, which are above 1,000 feet. You can go up to another 500 feet above those because that's already marked on the aviation charts as obstacles that planes have to avoid.
All right, let's see.
Trying to bring you in so everybody can see you too. So right here, from this view, how far are you up?
At this altitude is probably below 400, in a safe altitude of 300 feet. We'll see helicopters operating near the expressway, and they will be going up and down at an altitude of approximately 800 to 1,200 feet for their restrictions. So drone pilots are operating below that at altitudes below 400 feet in a safe, restricted area.
Yeah, I can tell. I can see the top of that apartment building, and I know that building is at least 20 stories. The tallest one over there by the Target. So you're definitely 25 stories up, maybe, to be able to see the top of this, 25, 30 stories.
And this,
Steve, we can't see that.
I know DeAndre's trying to.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure
Trying
out.
to set it up because he had it last time. He's trying
well,
to
let me get over to the
Here,
other.
I can show
Yeah.
you. Let me show you. Yeah, you can see it right here.
Trying to figure out how to get this thing.
You can look at my screen. I can see your house, Beard.
I wonder why is it not allowed
Oh, yeah?
to share screen?
Yeah, it's very impressive. With
Well,
these,
the thing about seeing the neighborhoods from this altitude is, I mean, you're literally getting a new perspective on your neighborhood and how things are happening, and being able to fly over parks, properties, check, for say abandoned cars, flea dumping, that sort of thing, is something that community organizations would be interested in, as well as in the future, promoting this as new job opportunities, and also getting young people interested in new aviation opportunities that are coming up.
Okay, let's see. Let me see.
something going on. 1 second, John.
Oh yeah, you go ahead. I'm trying to.
Oh, he's just doing something. He's trying
Yeah.
to bring it all in. Yeah, I mean, definitely the opportunities are there.
I know in particular there are training and education grants for students and people returning to the workforce. So this would be something for retired people like me. Well, this is my second career as a retired person, and something that isn't very strenuous. It gets me out into the elements, and it also keeps me intellectually occupied, keeping up with the new and evolving technology.
What do you do with the drone so far, other than just kind of take video pictures? Anything else?
Well,
Kind of.
yeah, so far the drone can also do mapping and survey work for construction sites. And as these infrastructure grants come through, and big infrastructure programs are coming through the area. People will have mapping missions for drones. And you can map an entire area pre-construction and then update during the construction phase, and also monitor for safety practices. I've been talking to some of the trade unions on job sites, and they want to monitor the job site for practice and compliance.
And you said these are trade unions?
Unions that are putting up new construction, and the unions, as well as the contractors themselves, will want to use drones to check for safety compliance on the job site, as well as material handling. You can do volumetric observations with the drone from varying heights and get a volume on, say, a pile of gravel, and see how much of it is being used over a period.
So you said you're currently doing this now, right?
Yes, I'm contracting out for some of this work that will be coming up this year. As a matter of fact, we're talking about New Year resolutions, and these are some of the contracts that I'll be bidding on.
Are you gonna be bidding on contracts?
Yes, we're already bidding on. Well, I say we, drone operators like myself and people that have come together under the work opportunities that are happening with trades in the city. Yes.
No, go ahead, John. We're listening.
I wonder is the
Yeah. So we're hoping on bidding on more contracts. None have actually come in so far, but the operation is out there to pick up drones now on some of these new infrastructure contracts.
It's on here somehow. You're on here, DeAndre. Hold on.
No, I'm on there. I'm just trying to.
Oh,
I was doing the share screen function.
yeah, we're
but
trying to share the screen with everybody else too. But I don't know if you can see. If you're still on Zoom, you can still see. They can see you because I'm holding the camera, but he's trying to bring it integrated into StreamYard. You did it before.
Yeah, no.
You know, in the meantime, what you can do is have them go on Zoom.
Yeah, you could. Could go on Zoom too. Do you have the Zoom link, John?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, you can't do both, right?
No, he can't do both. He got to go to the Zoom.
Yeah, if you go to Zoom, it'll help a little bit more rather than what I'm doing now.
Would you like me to leave the studio here and go on Zoom, or you send me the Zoom link?
Sure. Check your email.
Yeah.
No, check your text.
Text for the Zoom link. Okay. Oh, wait a second. Hold on. Could you email the Zoom link, because then I can get it on my home computer.
See, it should be. I don't know how that iPad situation worked though, because the iPad, it should be able to mirror. I got it on mirror screen on the iPad, so it's supposed to be able to show the Zoom, but it's not showing on there, right?
No.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's not showing, but it was. Let me see. He said send it to his email. Let me send it to you. I think I got it. Well, we could continue. We only got a few more minutes.
Sorry about that.
That's quite all right.
It's a weird situation here. I hate trying to figure this thing out.
And it will be on the tree. What's your email? Treetop? What was it?
So why the change? So while we wait, why the change in name?
Well, this is a new a branding. I actually went out and had a consultant, give me a few suggestions, and we landed on not only the brand but the letterhead and so on. So Hawkwind Drone Works reflects the hawk in Chicago.
Hawk as in the coldness?
Because it's really been blowing. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Hawk comes flying through.
I know you were showing a map before of certain areas in which you can and can't fly. How many of those exist in Chicago?
Well, of course, we have two major airports. And Oak Park and the Austin district, we're very lucky that we fall right between the two restricted areas. So beginning south at Roosevelt Road, you begin restrictions to a hard ceiling at 400 feet. There's no flying over 400 feet at all. And then as you progress further south toward Midway Airport, say at Archer, the ceiling for flight goes down to below 200 feet. So you can't be flying your drones over those altitudes. And there are apps that drone pilots will pick up for their phones that will show you those on the maps.
Yeah.
And going north toward O'Hare, the restrictions will start at North Avenue, and by the time that you get to Belmont, it's very restricted toward the airport. So flying around here is very open to flying.
Hey, John, you have that video with the town?
Voices keep fading in and out, and I can't hear anything, and I can't see anything either.
Oh, that's probably me standing too close.
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah, so if he goes on Zoom, we can solve some
I
of
sent
these
the Zoom
problems
link to you, John.
because the
All right, I'm going to log off this and come back on Zoom.
Yeah.
He'll come on Zoom.
Treetop flyers learning how to fly drones, man. You need to go and let me do the commercial.
Give him a minute.
Come on, if you want to fly drones and you want
In
to
the
have
meantime,
something that
in
can
the
look at your
meantime,
home.
John's got a really nice video of Austin, actually from high above with the Austin Town Hall. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, hopefully, he'll be able to play the video on. Did he jump in? Look like is that him?
He might be on.
Because it's a new person that's in there. Treetop flyers.
Yeah, I think that's me.
Let me see. Oh, there's John.
Is it him?
Yeah.
All right, can you hear me now?
Good. Yeah, we can hear you.
Great.
So do you have the video of the town hall that you took? Are you able to play that?
Let me try and get that up. Hold on.
Yeah, let's look at that.
Close this. We'll open that.
Can you hear me, Ella?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much for staying with me. Let me get this going.
Bring it down. It's that tilts it. Just let it down. Oh, just let it down a little bit.
Oh, you disabled screen sharing.
Oh.
So you have to share the screen.
Yeah, man, I don't understand. Yeah.
You know where's that?
No, that's what I've been trying to do the whole time. No, it's on yours, but you disabled it for other participants. So
Okay.
somehow
In
you
the
gonna have to
show?
go, yeah. That's what keeps happening when I've been trying to show.
And it won't show there.
Yeah, that's why.
So maybe it's on here.
And it's in the settings.
Yes, and post disabled participant screen sharing.
Yeah, that's something we got to fix internally because I tried to do that actually earlier. That's why.
Can you share from your side?
Yeah. If you send me the link, I can play it. Yeah. Or
Yeah, so
is it on YouTube at all? Is it YouTube or is it a link?
I don't know. Let me see if I can share this with you to well, no.
Oh yeah, you know what? If you put the link in the chat box, then
I put it in the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
if you put it in the chat, then we could play it. Yeah, I don't know. We got to figure that part out. How to get this thing. Let's see.
Show my video gallery.
put that link
Show media
in the
controls.
chat also.
Is that it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, YouTube. Okay. Let's see.
You may not see it.
That's true.
No.
I mean, there are many things we can do with drones, but from a civic organization viewpoint, I feel that we really need a civil drone corps beyond what the police and the fire department are doing with drones as far as search and rescue and whatever police surveillance. Well, they can't do surveillance, but they can do active crime scenes and that sort of things with drones. We also need a civil corps of drone operators to work for the aldermen, for the wards, for the townships, to do all of these civil work. I mentioned doing property inspections for are all sorts of civil ordinance inspections you can do with the drones just by surveying the neighborhood.
Yeah, we have. I got a bunch of guys out south that are heavily invested in trying to utilize drone technology, especially as it relates to like policing and things like that. That's all they talk about. They're older guys as well, about in their 60s, and they definitely talk about the need to utilize this drone technology for policing. Absolutely talk about it. So they'd love to talk to you about that for sure. That's for sure.
I think we need to do
You
another
have
show
to
and
be,
tell.
close on that because there are Fourth Amendment search issues with that. Anytime that you have a police officer, eyes on the screen, he's doing a search.
Yeah.
Well, I think, John, if you can come on another time, we want to do a show and tell. Maybe you could show some of these, like the ones that with the town hall and so forth. You give people a better idea. We can dive into this a little bit more.
Yeah, we'll make sure. I'll figure out how to get this so that we can. I think that's one of the issues that because I could have shared it from my side, but with the host disabling share video, that's the reason why I wasn't able to share to bring these individuals into. We could have did it this way, but I forgot. That's the reason. But we'll figure it out. We'll have it, and then we'll just dedicate a part of the show so that we can show some videos and things like that the next time around. We could definitely do that.
Well,
Sorry.
thank you for having me on.
We'll give you a notice, a week's notice.
Really been following the show. It's been a great opportunity for me to talk with the community.
Absolutely. We appreciate you coming on. We'll give you a week's notice, John, because this is great stuff. This is what we want to dive into.
So show usually goes from 6 to 8, as you all know. And if you are tuned in, you can tune in various ways, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, or the Zoom. And usually as we close, we just go around the room and give final thoughts and things like that. So we opened up with resolutions, so we're going to close with final thoughts. And so I'm going to go with the Zoom. I'm going to start with you, John, because you're the first person that I see on my screen. So give us a final thought.
Well, I think my final thoughts are unity and service to the community. And those are my themes going into the new year.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Barry?
Hey, guys. Hi, John. John, I have a question for you.
Yes.
And that is, when you look at the West Side, and you look at some housing that's comparable in Oak Park from the air, do they look much different?
Not much. As a matter of fact, down many of the boulevards, you can't tell the Queen Anne's on one side from the other.
Yeah, for real.
And a follow-up question. We're doing something called Peacebrook, which is it's a story of a new West Side. The story is called Peacebrook. And the question is, what we're trying to do is inspire people about the wealth of this West Side.
Mm-hmm.
And I suspect from the air, it looks like a tremendous asset.
Well, absolutely. Absolutely. I can get on this very quickly. Is that on every television program that you see, and there are many being shot here in Chicago, all these scenes open and close with drone shots rising above the rooftops and looking out on the loop. And you saw that in some of my photos and that sort of thing. When you see when you see your own neighborhood, your own community in a shot like that, you instantly relate to Well, this is something that, I've seen on television. And my neighborhood can look this cellular.
So I'm wondering, John, whether you might have some.
Well, the answer is yes, whatever it is.
Well, hey, I'm all with that, because what I'm looking for is an image, a video like that, video clip that we can attach and put on as part of what Peacebrook looks like, to help inspire people.
Well,
how can I get in touch with you?
Well, you get in touch through through our host here, and I can send you a link if you send me a message here on the chat.
I got his number.
All right. What?
I have his number.
Oh, Steve, yeah, if you could, John, can I talk to you?
Keep me in the loop as all of this progresses. It'll be great.
Can I give you a call? So
yes.
We can specifics. I'll get your number from Steve. Great, thanks, John. So that's my final thought, is I'm rising just above the rooftops with John.
Service to the community.
Yes, indeed. Great.
Yes, sir. Miss Houston, Ella.
Hi. Well, I didn't come in till late, and then there was so much static going on. I didn't hear too much of a conversation, so I guess I'll have to wait till next week to make a comment.
No, you could just whatever little, just closing out. Just what you got for it. Matter of fact, how about this? Because you came a little late. What's your New Year's resolution? What are you looking to accomplish in 2022?
I don't make New Year's resolution because they always fail. But all I want to do is get rid of this COVID and keep being here.
Amen. I'm not mad at that. Thank you. Steve?
Oh, like I said, the goal is, in 22, we got to do something. We got to get it done. And again, I said, I absolutely believe everybody needs to have at least a number of 4 people on their block. So you have a unit of 5. And that helps solidify your blocks.
Mm-hmm.
We really need to start trying to accomplish that. Reach out to your neighbors, reach out to the individuals on your block, and become a community, become a neighbor, become a block club.
I'm gonna piggyback off Steve and say that coming into 2022, the operative word is action. So whatever it is, let's just do it. Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. With that being said, we're available 6 to 8 on Sundays. Various channels you can interact with us: the Facebook, the YouTube, the Zoom. Thank you all for taking your time out, spending time with us tonight. And as usual, like I like to say in closing, they didn't give us a seat at the table, so we had to create our own. Thank you for allowing us to welcome you to Northwest Austin Council. All right, good night, y'all.
Good night, all. Appreciate everybody coming on.
Good night.
All right.
Barry, Ms. Jacobs, Ella, all those that are still on. Good night, all.
Yeah, Steve, if you could get me John's info,